or in your position that you are holding right now, we can consider that you are a leader of a cooperative. And the true test of leadership today is how well you function in a crisis like this. Our objective of this webinar is, while I am presenting, I hope that you would be able to jot down some notes and identify critical areas of operations that has been affected by the pandemic, and also to appraise the current response of your cooperative or your cooperative organization. All right. So in the document, we have actually put focus or attention on three areas: members, employees, and institution. I'm sure that some of you have already did an exercise on preparing or developing a business continuity planning. These are the most important areas where our business continuity plan should be focusing. Focusing on how your cooperative will be able to continue your services to your members, and how your cooperative should protect the welfare of your employees during this pandemic, and what are the areas that have been affected by this pandemic in our credit union, in our institution. Yeah. We go to the area, or let's put our attention to our members. These are the areas that we have identified that we need to analyze its impact. Number one is the health of the member, ability of the member to pay the loan to your cooperative, and the digital channels you are using in the cooperative to ensure that members maintain social distance, because there is no need for face-to-face transaction because they can use digital means. We need to identify what are the challenges around that area. And the last one is resilience. Let's go now to see about our members' health. I hope that you will agree with me that the foundation of our cooperatives is the member, or our members. We will not exist without our members. We exist for the members. The operation of credit unions are largely dependent on our members, and one of the areas that's been affected by the pandemic is the health of our members. If members are getting sick, members are very vulnerable of getting the infection. There is a direct impact to their ability to pay. There is a direct impact on how they can be economically active today and in the future. Another one is the age vulnerability of our members. I have been always hearing from some of my friends, I am over 60, I am 60 and above, and that is why I do not want to go out, because those are the people very, very vulnerable to get infected by the coronavirus. Not only because of age, it's also because of the weak immune system or underlying diseases. So our thinking in here is that when in the new normal, essential. What is essential? This is essential for us to focus and to look and to include in our business continuity planning, because we need to respond. Our response should be to protect, to prevent, and to secure our members in this vulnerability. So most probably in our business continuity planning, we need to, from now and maybe in the future, we need to include health education for the members so that they will be aware. They need to be need to be part of the education program of the cooperative. Another one is also security. in terms of the financial product of the cooperative or credit unions, I think in the next time, maybe we need to have a serious consideration on making sure that members have health insurance or being able to prepare for health emergencies in the future. This is a big chunk, and this is something that the cooperative should be very much concerned. Members' ability to pay has really been affected because of this pandemic and because of the lockdown. The daily wage earners during the lockdown can no longer work. Our micro and small and medium entrepreneurs cannot also open their shops. Our farmers cannot also sell their products, and your door-to-door service of the credit union did not function during that time because of social distancing. So we have an example here in Nepal saying that the members cannot pay because they do not want to go out at home. They have a money to pay, but because the door-to-door step service have been stopped, so they cannot repay their loans in the credit union. If there was a price increase during that time, it would mean high cost of living for the members, and the members' ability to pay will definitely be affected. What is the essential in the no normal is that to deal with this challenge or impacts is I think we need to strengthen our financial counseling or financial coaching in our credit union. The reason why the daily wage earners, I've seen that in many news, even there was a lockdown, people were trying to go out of their homes, saying that they want to still work because if they will not work, their families will go hungry. It's because members are not able to build their emergency fund, where that is the money that they will use in cases of emergency. So the rule of thumb on financial literacy is that every individual should have at least 6 months of family expenses in their emergency fund, and that is absent in most of the people. So I think we need to strengthen that role of the credit union, because can you remember in our discussions earlier, the credit union should be the trusted wealth creation advisor for the members. We should be playing that role for our members. Okay, another one is that in our document, we were suggesting that probably credit unions could play a role in facilitating the selling of members' produce. It's not that you are buying the farmers' products and sell it, but probably you can create a platform during this time of pandemic where farmers can sell their products online. I have seen that a lot of people use Facebook to sell their products, and I think the credit unions can help the members, especially those who are not technologically savvy, to use the platforms you have created. Our staff during the pandemic they have worked from home, and I think during that time, there should be an additional task for them to reach out to the members. Most of your members have their cell phones, and maybe most of your members also have Facebook, that you can easily reach them through Messenger. Because during this time, there's a lot of people, especially the low-income people, who have fears, who have grown fears, and who have developed a lot of stress because they do not know what will happen next. The thing is that they do not have money now, they do not know how to feed their family, they are relying on government food packs, and maybe they are also relying on your cooperative when you distributed food relief to them. but that's not sustainable. The government has already drained its resources to feed to feed the people. So I think what we need to emphasize is that we need to stand on our own 2 feet and not to rely on others, because the self-help principles should play a major role in times of emergencies. Another suggestion that we incorporated is that we feel that during this time, since there's a less opportunity for employment outside, the opportunity is that we need to help our members create its own employment, and that is through enterprises. And so it is very critical today and to move forward that business development services should be an integral part of the lending, because who else will advise members on enterprises? Definitely it's the credit union. It's our cooperatives can play a very big role on that. On the digital channels, I hope that your cooperative has employed digitized financial services, because it's very important now. We even we anticipate that this coronavirus is not going to end even until December 31st, until end of the year. And so the widespread use of coins and notes is not actually very good. And so our credit union need to have digital channels to provide financial services to the members. When they pay the loan, they don't need to use the cash. When they receive the loan from you, they don't need cash. You have a digital channel for that. You have an ATM, you have a payment platform. In the Philippines, you have a payment platform, but the question is it widely used among cooperatives? Because it is very important that the widespread use of coins and notes are now replaced by digital channels in your cooperative. If there is a digital channel in your cooperative, we have seen that not most of the members of co-ops are using it. And maybe not most of the staff of the credit unions are using it. So that is going to be a big challenge. And digital training on digital literacy should be part of the component of the education for your members. Okay, another one, the last one is resilience. We are always talking, oh, we are very resilient in all the, in all the disasters that's happening to us. But what is that resilience? There are so many areas about resilience. But if I may simplify it, the stress is coming from financial health. I hope that you will agree. You are very stressful if you do not have money. You are very stressful if you know that you do not have money to buy food. So actually, the mental health is coming from the financial health, especially for the low-income people. So I think in the new normal, it is very essential that we integrate financial counseling. I have mentioned already that. And in order to reduce the stress, every member of the credit union, especially the low-income people, need to have mandatory emergency fund of at least 6 months of monthly expenses. This cannot be withdrawn, and this can only be withdrawn in case of emergencies. Right. Okay, the lesson that we can learn here is that our members should be resilient, financially resilient, and they also have to be physically resilient. I have heard a lot, many people were saying, if I am healthy, I feel that I am already rich. Because when you get sick and you do not have money, you are in very miserable situation. The meaning to say is that if you are healthy, the cost of medical care is very expensive. And that is why it's very important right now for people to become healthy, so that during this time of pandemic, uh, we are we have less risk of getting infection, and we need to be financially resilient at the same time. So I hope that the development educators will provide this as an input to your board of directors whenever you are talking about how do you actually cope up with all the with all the impacts of the coronavirus. I just put here this one slide on the definition of financial resilience. It's the ability of an individual to withstand life events that impact one's income or assets. This is very applicable right now, and I think this is the thing that this is the lesson that we should be highlighting in every educational program that we organize for our members in the future. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to deal too much on this because probably the lockdown has been over. You have already relaxed, but I just want to review with you whether these are the things that you are currently doing or maybe you are still doing now in your credit union. So this is equally very important. Well, I think maybe when during the lockdown, the concern of the board of directors are the the staff, because there is no reason to have a very good business continuity plan if the staff are not really cared of by the credit union. Okay, so these are the things that we have to be very aware about how to care for our staff. And one is job security and morale, ensuring that their salaries are on time. It's the responsibility of the board to ensure that, and we need to ensure that we have a business continuity plan and we are transparent. We are telling to the staff, yes, we have prepared this plan and we have identified the risk, and we are managing it, and we have a plan for it. We need to be optimistic this time, optimistic and positive in all the communications within our cooperative and also communication with your members. And of course, we need to apply flexibility, and we need to also have virtual team bonding even if you are a very desperate situation. Okay, the work from home challenges, it's not just sending all the stuff to their homes and you can work there, but we need to have a very clear policy on how this will be done. And in our document, I think you also receive a copy. We have also included some template on the work from home policy. Um, okay, right. And the health protection of the staff has also to be addressed during this time of crisis, right? Okay, the last component is the institution. There's a lot of things that we need to look at. Our credit union and your business continuity plan will be also around this area. The first thing is that disaster preparedness. I'm quite sure that many cooperatives have this document. It's called disaster preparedness, but the disaster preparedness in most of the cooperatives I talked to was set around, typhoon, flood. What else do we have? Earthquakes, fire, but there's no document that relates to global pandemic. So, to tell you honestly, most institutions have not prepared for this situation. So I think it should be the immediate concern of the board of directors during the time, even way back in March, to prepare the business continuity plan. The business continuity plan is the process of creating systems of prevention and recovery to deal with potential threats to credit union. Okay, so the business continuity plan is looking at the impacts of the coronavirus, which as I have already explained, impacts to the members, impact to your staff, and impact to your credit union, and assess the risk that is associated with it, and also look at what are the responses or how do you mitigate the risk that you have identified. Yeah. Another area that we need to focus is that liquidity management. Our response should be, each credit union need to prepare a cash flow projection because you are not going to receive the same amount of cash flow that you have anticipated before COVID during this time, because during the period where there was a lockdown, I am sure that there's a lot of your members who cannot repay the loan, and it will affect your cash flow. The short-term liquidity funding from the federation is necessary if the credit union will be short of liquidity. But what is important is to identify whether you are really short of liquidity by having that cash flow projection. Another area is that the digital channels, which I have already explained earlier, we need to integrate digital literacy training in member education, require staff to use digital channels where it is available, and National Federation accelerate digitization of our cooperatives. In the lending is another area that's been affected by this pandemic. But the business continuity plan is saying to stop operation. No, we have only to mitigate the risk. And in order to mitigate the risk, we are suggesting cooperatives to avoid granting new loans if they will create more indebtedness to members, because it will make our members' life very miserable if you are granting additional loan which they cannot absorb anymore. But we need to open our lending to support businesses and farmers. And there is a need to review the lending process this time because the environment has changed a lot. It's not the same environment before COVID. And we integrate business development services in lending. It's a critical service now, and it should be integrated in the lending service of the credit union. Okay, so this is the business development services that I explained, because maybe some of you have not heard this. Maybe you are thinking, oh, we are already doing, but what our recommendation is that there should be somebody in your credit union or in your cooperative who is in charge in this. And this is the person who is in charge to ensure that you are supporting small and medium enterprises, and the objective is to create employment, generate income, and contribute to the economic development and growth of your members. So these are the things that has to be included in the business development services. We recommend that this should be one unit in your lending department. This is a member coaching. This also provide training. This provide tools, templates. We call it business in a box. And this is the group that is in charge in building linkages, because you cannot do everything. The credit union is not expert on enterprise. So we need to find expertise on that by linking and developing linkages on the skills providers markets and suppliers within and outside the credit union, and organizing trade fairs. All right. On the portfolio quality, you have already your existing portfolio right now. There is a need to establish scenarios on the number of members and loan amount affected by the crisis. And only those members that have been affected by the pandemic should be given moratoriums or loan renegotiation. We have heard in the Philippines that there is a regulation in the Cooperative Development Authority saying that the member should receive a grace period of 3 months, I can remember, and it is applicable to everyone. Our suggestion is it should only be applicable to those loans or those members whose ability to pay have been affected by the pandemic. Because if you are giving more grace period also to those members who were not actually affected, so then we are not helping those members. Our suggestion is that this moratorium and renegotiations or grace period will be given only to those whose ability to pay have been affected. The management of the cooperative should be transparent on the loan portfolio quality to the board. Okay, another operation of the credit union that should not be stopped is the savings. I think we should start financial counseling and financial literacy training even during this time. You can look at the members who are willing to, you can start with the members who have, have technology or using technology with them and start, looking at where they are in their financial status, because I think the role of the credit union is to, to get the trust of your members, to earn the trust of your members so that you would be able to enter into the financial lives of the members of credit union. You need to let them feel that you are the trusted advisor for them on their financial lives. Okay, these are the suggestions when you are doing financial coaching. There are actually 10 of it, but I have only included 10. But these are the basic financial goals of every individual. Number one, I think it's also applicable to all of us, not only for your members. And our suggestion is that make sure all the staff of the credit union, all the staff of your cooperative is practicing this. The first financial goal is have a well-stocked emergency fund, which is equivalent to 6 months of family expenses. Number two, get out of debt completely. It's a goal. Number three, retirement fund. We need to have a retirement fund. Number four is to create multiple income streams. And number five is have enough insurance to cover contingencies. Like for example, this time is contingencies. Health insurance is an example of it. Okay, and the next is revenue. We were saying that you are not losing the business. Cooperatives are not losing the business. What the cooperatives will have to suffer now is losses because of the operations that have been disrupted because of the coronavirus. And so the credit union will have to explore new loan offering that promotes micro and small and medium enterprises and provide services that support value chain promotion for members' businesses. Like for example, I can say that when you have a lot of members who are farmers, and they are only selling that produce to the market, probably your business development services unit can look at how you can convert the products of the farmers into another kind of product, or maybe processing, or maybe process it into another product. So in that way, you are creating another income source from your members, and you are promoting entrepreneurship. Like for example, maybe your members are growing pineapple. Probably you can ask some of the members to prepare organic pineapple jam. So those are example of value chain. So you know more than me because you know your members very well. If the cooperatives are having external borrowing, it's now the time maybe to renegotiate existing external funding or access funding from the national federation. Okay, this is the time to really reduce expenses as much as possible and consider postponing capital expenditure. Now, this is the most critical part, institutional capital. The cooperative with having sufficient institutional capital are the ones that will not really be suffering too much of these impacts of the coronavirus. If they have achieved 10% ratio to total assets for that is their financial cushion in times of crisis. This is the same way that we have a financial cushion for members, which is the emergency fund. This is also the emergency fund for credit union. So if your cooperative has not reached 10%, I think it's really a must that we need to concentrate on how to achieve the 10% ratio to total assets of the reserve fund in your credit union. Okay. Even if you have a lockdown, even you are working from home, the board of directors should not be stopped working, because the board of directors should be on top of the situation. We need to ensure that the board can perform their oversight function even during this pandemic. And the first thing that they need to assure is that the credit union or the cooperative has a business continuity plan in place. Okay. And the last item is the legal compliance, which I know that you are already doing a lot. Adherence to regulatory guidelines of the regulators and the government. And we need to provide feedback to the Federation on the regulatory advocacy that they need to put forward to your respective regulator. Okay, the lesson that we can learn. Are credit unions resilient? Okay, the one that is very busy, organizational resilience framework are, very technical thing. The reason why I put this one in the slide is for you to see that there are a lot of items that we need to focus if we want our organization resilience. But to make it simple, I just want to highlight your organization can be resilient if you have a financially literate membership. Because if your members are financially literate, they definitely have the 6 months emergency fund with them. So you do not have a problem of collecting the loan, because your members have that money to repay the loan because they have already prepared that in advance. In fact, they have 6 months of buffer. They have 6 months of spare wheel or spare tire with them in order for their life to run smoothly and normally. If your members are not financially resilient, then you will have a problem on getting back the loan from your members. And that's the reason why you have a problem in your credit union. And if your credit union has 10% institutional capital, you are definitely comfortable during the time of crisis. So I think this is the lesson we can learn. We were saying that the Access branded credit unions, we are not worried about the Access branded credit unions because we know for a fact they have a low delinquency, and they have achieved the 10% institutional capital. But for those who have not achieved it, a lot of things have to be done regarding the resiliency framework, which is on. Well, we can, together we can get through this, and I hope that you are working well with your colleagues and your board of directors to ensure that our credit unions will still remain there and will be able to cope up. And not only cope up, but not even bounce back, but our credit union will grow. When we say bounce back, we are going back to before COVID-19. I think it's not going to happen. The situation is really different now, even if the coronavirus is over. So thank you very much, and I hope that you've learned something from this.
Okay. Are you very boring? Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to Lenny for highlighting ACU initiative, developing new business solution while all the countries locked down. So we were able to come up with some material tools to build our members' life back. Okay, you have three ways to do that. We would like to give each maybe 1 minute. Maybe some of the people want to share, not related to Kunleni presentation, but you like to share what you have been done, you have been doing, or you have initiated, on respective. But make it very short, introducing your name and maybe which year you are. We're very happy to see almost everybody more than 15 years old, the colleagues. You can give the greetings, take the opportunity, and then if you have a next round will come, how as a DE, is there any role? I don't know whether what is your direct linkage with the federation. We don't know directly you are involved in the credit union. We don't know. Maybe let's see. I think Kulani has highlighted the word new normal. Believe or not, we will not going to back before March, at least next 5 years time, because unless two conditions, we find the vaccination, or maybe very quickly it's go to the affordable price to the everyone. So then it is we are safe. If not, we have to live with this one. So I think we had an opportunity to chat with Mr. Jonas. I think he was the first batch. He started before we start the meeting, but still opportunity for everyone to see. I can see the faces. I don't want to highlight the name, but we know everyone. I want to say thank you so much, everyone joining. Say start to anyone. Floor is open. Open your microphone and start. Not necessary to asking an approach. I can hear you, everyone. Thank you so much. Floor is open now.
Okay, thank you. Digito. Thank you, Ranjit and Lenny. I am the oldest one in this meeting because I am running 73. And I was in the first batch for D course in Philippines. And I can see my nice friend there, who was my best mate. So thank you for everything, organizing this meeting. And I think this workshop will helpful to guide our member society. What Lenny has given the papers and the ideas, this is very necessary for the credit unions. So I have nothing to say much. We are following most of them, what is suggested by the Lenny. And that is, I am making sure of the staff salary and everything, secure their jobs. And the new loans is going on. And luckily, as a federation, we have a quite good overhead fund. So we can use that fund for this emergency period. Besides that, I am trying to get a short loan from the government with minimum interest rate that is 4%. You know, the Bangladesh 4% is very low minimum rate of interest. And we are trying to get some money from the government to make that emergency fund bigger and help each credit union, giving them a fund with less interest. So they can utilize that fund for their own credit unions or for their members. And I tried that Carl make a health small video, right? How to take care of your health and what to be done and what should not be done. So these are small video clips, 5 minutes. Uh, so we are trying to show it to everyone and give all the credit unions the copy, and so that they can know how to do and what to do. I am doing my regular office from long times, and still I am happy and healthy because I am trying to obey the health instruction given by the World Council and our country law. So this we are maintaining. And if somebody comes to the office, then we got a what is called sanitization machines, so they can come through it. And we take the measure their temperature and everything. We take care about those who are coming inside the office. So I think everybody, this is just sharing, right? And nothing much to do, say. I have like to say again, thank you everyone, all my friends and new D peoples, those who are young generation. Very grateful to be joining here, and I don't believe that credit union will give some relief. I don't believe on the theory at all, uh, but I am ready to give them short loan with minimum rate of interest, but nothing forever. What I have done, that is by personal things. As a citizen of Bangladesh, I have contributed as much as I could, but I don't like to be that. My suggestion to all my credit union: don't go for the relief. Use that money, give the needy members, so they can take it short loan, and they can repay. When the rice will grown up, they can pay back. So invest the money for producing the rice and or something else like these small projects. So this is my concept.
Thank
I
you,
like to thank
Jonas.
you, Lenny, again for nice delivery and presentation, and it will be very helpful to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we'll open the floor for anyone else. Please switch on your mic before you speak. Your mic. You should know it is in the below icon. So you can see there are three icons: your camera, phone, and microphone. You need to manage it. So these are learning. Anyone? Hearing none? Anybody? No?
Ranji, Sir Ranji, good afternoon.
Yes, Miss Sally. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sir Jonas, for sharing your views on the matter. I am currently second vice president of ACU. I am a board member of NATCO in the Philippines. I also am the chairperson of Elecom in our employees cooperative. I'm also an ex-official board member of St. Martin. What I can say is that the economies of the world suffered greatly by reason of the COVID because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And in our company where we have a cooperative also, we made sure that we always checked on the health of our members and we provided all the support that they needed. Today we are mostly needed by the governments, the different governments in the whole world. Cooperatives really are a great help. And I'd like to thank each and every one here present for taking part in this mini reunion for the development educators. Thank you so much and stay safe, everyone. God bless. Thank you, Sir Ranjit. Thank you, Ma'am Lenny.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, let me give to you what will happen to the banking industry next 6 month time. Which is a scenario in the macroeconomic policy. I am sure every country has given a bailout program for the lower interest rate for the business community to reactivate their economic activity. At the same time, central bank has lowered down for the reserve level for the country because central bank want more liquidity available for the banks to do the loan. At the same time, we need to understand almost banks has lowered down their interest rate on savings. I think these are very, very important macroeconomic scenario all the cooperative leaders to learn and understand. Now, we call artificial savings might be coming to the credit union because we have not adjusted any interest rate based on the market. So this will be very, very alarming. We need to understand what would be the best interest rate you should offer. If you keep still the higher interest for your savings, lot of the liquidity will come to your institution, and then there will be a no lending mechanism, and then you will not able to generate enough revenue to pay back your interest for your saving. At the same time, you also understood your loan portfolio, the quality is going down due to the last 3 4 months, the no loan is coming. So your portfolio quality level has gone down at least a 15% due to these last 3 months. I think this is a very good situation. All the credit union board of directors level need to deliberate. This is the issues. What would be the best interest rate? What should be the short-term loan mechanism to give the activate, because we don't have a subsidy like Mr. Jonas got it from their government. I don't think this is, we talk to our national federation to negotiate with the national bank or national body to get some liquidity or to provide for the credit union. So this is a scenario. So we need able to managing. I'm sure that now our long friend who is in the banking industry, Mr. Nirola is here. So he knows what I am talking exactly. The people who has not exposed to the banking industry, please review it. What exactly doing in the market, financial market, it has an effect to our credit union. That is what I want to highlight to everyone. Even though we are credit union, we do the business, but the market has a directly or indirectly to effect to our business. So still floor is open for anyone to share. Please take a microphone. Still we have another around 15 minutes can go. Thank you. In the bottom line, your microphone is in the bottom line. You can see in your screen bottom there are three icons. One is called that like a mic, the phone, and the camera. So you can switch off and switch on your mic. So love to see everyone. I don't want to mention everyone name. Thank you so much. Mr. Charlie, you want to say hello to anything? Long time no see in Indonesia. Papa Indonesia.
Mhm.
Pak Charlie. Mr. Nirawala, you like to say hello to everyone after a long time we didn't hear voice.
Hello, my friends from Bat 9. Where are you? Are you joining this webinar? Many greetings from Indonesia, from West Kalimantan, Pontianak. Nice meeting you now. Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Lenny, for the presentation. It's very useful for us.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I think La Salette is here. La Salette, are you there, La Salette?
Hello.
Okay. I'm Kuber from Nepal, Mr.
Okay,
Ranjit,
okay.
Lenny, and
Yes,
all.
yes.
Namaste and good morning.
Namaste.
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 Hmm. Thank you very much for very great presentation. It is very related with pandemic situation all over the countries. But it is some problem is there. Digitization system is very problem like underdeveloped country like Nepal and maybe other country also because people have cell phone, the Android cell phone, but they do not practice to use that actually, so that it is not easy to work as well as work from home also very problem to materialize the credit union system. Cash receiving and payment is not easy from work from home. It is very difficult to provide service so that people are ready to provide the service with full PPE protection and other awareness program activity. Everything is required so that it is very good presentation. However, we have to provide some solution to develop self safety, staff safety, like as well as member safety and other things. Also, it is very important in Nepal's country. Now, just now, I am also completing one small presentation from National Cooperative Federation. Same like I am also providing this advice to the credit union as well as other cooperative system. So that it is not easy, but we have to develop some policy and we have to develop some procedure. And nowadays, in the police situation, also same like Ranjit mentioned, is that liquidity is high in the cooperative credit union system because banks are reduce the interest rate of deposit. That it is maybe, in my opinion, we have to arrange to invest to the member for long-term loan and small installment system. I think so.
Self-payment. Collection.
Kabul. Anyone would like to share? If not, we don't need to hold everyone. Maybe we don't have honestly hard and fast rules. I think we need to understand we are going for the long-term investment has to consider a lot of factors because it's a very important part. Our short-term, we call short-term liability, investing the long-term liability asset will have another issues. I don't want to make it more simple, and it depends on the collateral, a lot of experience, capability to pay, and we have to look at the basic lending assessment process. But we prefer quick income generating activity that would be helping for our members. At the same time, if the we call over liquidity, you have to take any national decision what would be the best interest on savings. I think that will be very, very important decision. It is a direction of the National Federation to their primary, because primary has no much awareness of the macro level banking regulation and policies. I think there should be, that is why ACU always having a chat with the National Federation to make them aware the better guidance. So thank you so much, Mr. Jonas, sharing with that 5 billion taka. Yes, that is very good. You are very fortunate to have in such a government support, but unfortunately, other countries' government sector is not that much willing to give lending money to the, or maybe revolving fund to the cooperative sector. So with that, Lenny, so we need to close down.
Just a little correction.
Yes.
I said I'll get 5 billion in the pipeline, right, in the process.
Okay,
But
that's
already we have enough fund that we can go through. No problem with the money.
Yeah.
But only the policy problem, nothing else.
Okay, we are very happy ACU has announced for online consultation program since ACU is in the base in Bangkok. Maybe not any individual person, kindly coordinate with your national federation related to your policies. We are willing to have the consultation. We have to reserve the date with us. So, but you need to send any in advance what are the scope of work. So we will do the study. We will able to provide. We don't want to say exactly prescription. We will able to how to call understand. At least we can give the another perspective of the issues. So then you will able to find the solution, or we will able to find the best solution, having a better understanding. So ACU has already opened. It is already announced for the members, and maybe you can talk with it could be done any individual cooperative, your strategic plan or business continuity plan, or any product revisiting or the product analysis. Yes, we are willing to help.
Okay.
So with that, Lenny, I will hand over to you the closing remarks. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you very much, Kunranjit. Probably we have a Facebook. We have our email that you can reach out to us. ACU, during this time where we cannot we cannot travel or we cannot organize training programs in Bangkok due to the travel ban. ACU is uh, transforming all our services online. And also we are spending a lot of time on creating business credit union solutions so that we can share that with the National Federation. And those business solutions are templates that are actually geared towards addressing the challenges of credit unions, whatever you may have. What we would like from you is to communicate to us and get in touch with your respective national federations, because that is where is our direct contact. And thank you very much for attending this afternoon webinar. I hope that you have get something out of it, and that you can introduce to your respective cooperative. And yes, keep safe and be healthy. Thank you so much, and see you next time around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. God bless.